everyone, I'm Natalie Morales, and welcome to our Today All Day special, where we are taking a look back at some of the high-octane interviews I've done with the cast of The Fast and Furious. With the release of F9, the franchise's 9th installment, there is no better time to revisit my conversations with the film's stars, including Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson, Paul Walker, Ludacris, Jordana Brewster, Michelle Rodriguez, and Tyrese Gibson. F9 is produced by Universal Pictures, which is part of our parent company, NBC Universal. I've had the pleasure of interviewing the cast at amazing locations over the years. In Rio for the release of Fast 5, in London for Furious 6, and at the Toretto House for Furious 7, just after the death of Paul Walker, the group's co-star. And I even got to hang out with Vin Diesel in a helicopter. Over the next half hour, we're going to revisit those memorable moments as this year marks 2 decades worth of fast cars, thrilling heists, and most importantly, tales of family. First up, let's head to Rio, where I visited with the cast in 2011 before the release of Fast 5.
Bom dia você, as they say here. And as you know, these movies, the Fast and Furious franchise, have broken box office records and they have a cult-like following.
They're back.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. For those 10 seconds or less, I'm free.
The cast.
I'm down.
The cars. The races. Crashes. The babes. The franchise speeding across Los Angeles, Miami, Tokyo, Mexico, and now Rio. Fast 5, it's faster, even more furious, and now going to the max, IMAX. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, and the gang reunited once more, and they've got company.
The men we're after are professional runners. They like speed and guaranteed to go down the hardest possible way, so make sure you got your underwear on. We find them, we take them as a team, and we bring them back. And above all else, we don't ever, ever let them get in the cars.
And the cast of the Fast 5 is Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, Jordana Brewster, Chris Ludacris Bridges, and Dwayne Johnson. Good morning to all you guys. Great to be here with you live in Rio.
Thanks. Feels good to be here.
Good to be here. Now, Paul, you've said that this movie is a franchise that just never seems to end. Is it going to keep going and going?
I don't know. I think the fans are dictating that right now at this point. So, you know, we're excited. The reaction to this one seems really strong, seems positive, and that's all we want. So we'll see what happens.
There you go. And Vin, I know for you, you've said that the fans really relate because this is a family of misfits. What do you mean?
Just what that is. It's a family brought together of people. From the first movie, the whole idea was that Dom Toretto was the father figure of a family of misfits. And in
you
some
being
ways, Dom Toretto, yeah. And in some ways, this movie, Fast and 5, continues that concept. And so we have a very big family, and family is a very big theme in this movie.
It is. In fact, Jordana plays your sister in this movie, not to give anything away, but the family is growing a little bit. Right. And Jordana, actually, you and I have a lot in common because you're half Brazilian. Your mother's Brazilian. You actually grew up here as a kid in Brazil as well. So to be back here shooting in Rio, what was that like?
It's amazing. I mean, I absolutely love Rio, and I have a lot of family here, so it was a gift to be able to come home. And, you know, a lot of my heart's here, so it was a gift.
Did you teach these guys anything about Brazilian culture, how to speak?
I did, and, you know, the food here is amazing. We've been up to a lot of the churrascarias here, and we've had caipiroscas, caipirinhas, and yeah, they've been enjoying themselves for sure.
And Chris, of course, you're a world-famous musician as well. You got a hot song out right now, Break Your Heart with Tayo Cruz, album coming out this summer. So if you had to choose, you got acting, you got music, what do you pick?
Standing here amongst all these great actors, I would have to say right now I would choose the acting, of course. But music is my #1 love, but of course, hey, being in a movie with these guys right here, I don't think anything can match that. So I'm happy to be back. And you talked about breaking records. This one right here is going to break all the records that have been. Trust me.
Fast 5, yeah, absolutely. And Dwayne, you are the new guy to the bunch, new to the family. Were there any hazing rituals involved?
No, there wasn't any hazing. You know, these guys will try to hate for a
Tough
little
love.
bit. You know, then it's, you know.
Who wins? Let me guess.
I gotta say, no, I gotta say, these guys were great. And you think about how epic the franchise has been over the course of 10 years and how difficult that is to sustain that type of success. This group of actors has done an incredible job at delivering an incredible product over the past 10 years. So I was happy to come on board, help elevate this thing, create a character that's going to be formidable, and chase these guys down, hunt these guys down, and bring their asses in. Sorry to cuss so early in the morning.
Wow. Speed, West Coast. You're so big, buff, and strong. Should I keep going?
And good looking, yeah, you should go. And humble.
And humble. But I hear you actually had a hard time getting into those fast little cars. Is that true?
I can appreciate those cars, but you know, it's a good thing, which is why I'm a pickup man. Ford tough, Bill Ford tough all the way. These guys, all of them, by the way, have the luxury of driving those super cool cars. Yeah.
Jordana, you didn't even know how to drive when you started in the film.
I didn't.
How'd you get to? You're like Miss Speed Racer.
I'm a New Yorker, so I didn't have my license yet, so I had to get it. And by now I'm a little better.
And Vin, you've produced. This is your second time producing this film now. So, what's it? A little added pressure, producer plus the actor in the film. Continuing.
For me, it's an opportunity to really celebrate the entire process.
Not a bad gig, right? Well, coming up, we're continuing our journey into our Fast and Furious vault by traveling to London for Furious 6. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us as we look back on the Fast and Furious movies. Now, London was the perfect backdrop for my interview with this Furious 6 cast in 2013. Take a look.
The Fast and the Furious. More than a decade of high-energy action. Cars, cash, racing, rivalries.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Lighting up the big screen, smashing box office records. The first 5 films, raking in $1.5 billion worldwide. Hot rides, hot girls, hot locales. Now revving up for a 6th time. The Fast and the Furious fan favorites are all back. This time,
this is London, baby.
For their most high-stakes adventure yet.
And among the cast of Fast and Furious 6, we have with us, of course, returning Vin Diesel. We have Michelle Rodriguez also returning this time around. We have Tyrese Gibson, Paul Walker, Jordana Brewster, and Chris Ludacris Bridges. Great to have you all back.
Thank you for having
Welcome to London, which you guys know and love well, I hear, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All the action took place here. We even brought your cars to be here with you today to make you feel right at home.
Thank you.
Vin, just when I think that you can't possibly top the success of what happened with 5, here we go with number 6. I've seen it, and the action is even better. So what are the expectations? I mean, how far can you go with this?
I think we can go as far as the fans demand us to keep making movies. We've been lucky that we've had such a strong fan base. They love the action, but they love our cast. The action wouldn't be anything without the cast, wouldn't be anything without the performances and the dedication that the cast puts into making these action sequences seem real and feel real and add stakes to each of the action sequences. But ultimately, we keep doing it because
of the fans,
because
people.
of them, because of
right.
all of them.
Yes, and they come wherever you are, they show up. Exactly. Now, I understand from the last one we saw you all take off, go your separate ways after a successful heist in Rio.
Yeah.
So now you start off in all the different parts of the world,
That's
but you
right.
come back together. And Tyrese, what brings you all back together?
You know what? I think the family and the bond on and off camera, and it's, to be honest, when you're working on a movie of this magnitude, domestically and internationally, it's nothing like feeling like you're working on something that people are really anticipating. Mm-hmm. It makes you really think about the characters, it really thinks about the story, and the next level. It's like, imagine Fast 5 being the most successful one, and then following it with 6. I mean, we can't go backwards, we got to go up.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure, but we deliver.
Speaking of family, the family's expanded a bit. You know, we see Paul and Jordana, your characters, Brian and Mia, have a little baby this time around. So parenthood kind of changes things a little bit, right?
Yeah.
How does it change, Paul?
For me, I feel like we've earned it. We've been doing this together for a long time, and you know, I think that what we've all earned together, I mean, it's not something that can be forced. You know, I think that if you were to take each one of us individually and we were supposed to, and we just had this a basic encounter on the street, I don't think this would happen.
Yeah.
But we've been forced together more or less now for a long time, and as a result, cool things have happened. And I feel like this was just the next evolution of it. It was baby time. That was it.
And Michelle, we see, I mean, I don't think it's a surprise to any fans that your character comes back, because we saw a glimpse of you in 5.
That's right.
Your character actually is still alive.
Yes.
I'm not going to give away any more, you know, surprises here. But did you know when the plot lines were being written way back when that your character was going to come back?
That's a funny thing, you know, because, you know, me and Vin have such a long-standing 13-year friendship since, you know, on and off screen. And, you know, I found out about it by buying a ticket to go see it in Paris. And then when I call him up, Vin, and I'm like, dude, what's up? Why is there a picture of me? And when were you planning on telling me about this? He, you know, went on to tell me, well, I told you in 2 years ago that this was going to happen. So here we are.
Excellent. I know the fans are excited about that. And Chris, I mean, to be a part of this cast, amazing, but also to shoot in London during the Olympics. I mean, did you guys get to take in and have some fun at the same time?
Absolutely.
Go to some of the games?
Yeah, I definitely attended some of the games. And like you said, you know, to be here with such a great cast, a great family, just evolving and progressing every single film, and I'm just happy to learn, you know what I mean? But being here in London was great for me. I have a whole new appreciation for Europe.
Such great memories from that interview. Now, still to come, a touching conversation with the Furious 7 cast after the death of their beloved co-star, Paul Walker. We'll be right back. We're back with a look back at the Fast and Furious movies. In November of 2013, Paul Walker, who played Brian O'Connor in the films, died tragically in a car accident. The cast members, who consider themselves a family, sat down with me after his death at the Toretto House, which is a significant location in the film's storyline. As they processed their grief, they reflected on how they wanted to honor Walker through the release of Furious 7.
I had to gather the family around the table because it just seems appropriate to be here at the Toretto House. And in the backyard, and this barbecue, like you guys do in the film.
And I can't believe how much you've already eaten. It's
I
unbelievable how much she eats.
I have to apologize, I ate a lot of the beans.
Okay.
We're prepped. We're ready.
Move away from her.
We're outdoors.
Obviously, it's got to be a really difficult time to be doing the press tour and promoting a film at the same time. You're also dealing and talking about the loss of your friend, Paul Walker. Yeah. How much does that weigh on you all?
As much as we could find ourselves feeling like, man, well, isn't it selfish to be out promoting and trying to sell all of this energy about the movie when the obvious happened? But it's that is the reason to do it, because acting is art, and Paul is a part of this culture in our world and what we've all did together for all of these years, and we want the world to know that this is some beautiful art that he left us with.
When I finally saw the movie, I breathed a huge sigh of relief, because it is beautiful and he's so good in it, and the tribute to it is so fitting and beautiful, and I am really happy that the fans get to see that.
No matter what conversations we had with him, it would always circle back around to how much he liked to give. And it's his, you know, his humanitarian efforts and his philanthropic efforts and, you know, his reach out worldwide organization, no matter what, it would always come back to how he wanted to change the world. And he's still doing that.
His brothers were so key in helping you to complete the film, James. Are they now part of this big family as well?
You know, directing his brothers and directing them to work with, you know, with everyone else here, I think gave everyone here closure as well. And I think, you know, I think that was something that was very important for us.
When we all clearly could see that Paul's brothers look exactly like him, and we got into how to move forward, and they were physically on the set with us every day, we actually felt like our brother was still with us.
Dwayne, you came into the family a little bit later in Fast Five, and was it apparent to you right away that this was a bond that was going to be forever?
I had the privilege of coming into something that was already established and incredibly successful before I got there. Because we were all friends outside of the movie. We'd see each other around, support each other's movies.
We got the
like
same
that.
tattoo artist.
We have the same tattoo artist,
right?
yes. He has a picture of me on his lower back.
I got to see it. Come on.
Show us.
We have such a great team. It's not like other movies. When we come to work, we all want the movie to be as special as possible. We all knew that it was our job to leave a legacy for someone we love and someone the world loved. And that's why the ending is as precious as it is.
Hats off to you, James.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So much love there for their co-star Paul Walker, and what a conversation we had, so emotional. Now, that same year, I jumped into a helicopter with Vin Diesel, where he revealed to me the special inspiration behind his baby daughter's name.
Justin, you didn't think it could get any better, huh?
Here we go.
With the latest film in the Furious franchise set for release next week, what better way to spend some time with Vin Diesel than up in the air, overlooking where it all started?
See the Hollywood sign there, of course. Do you remember the first time you saw that sign when you first moved here?
Yes, I do.
What was that like?
It was 1990.
Yeah.
I was looking at that Hollywood sign and so confident that I was going to be a big star.
Yeah.
And I felt like, you know, this industry in this town hasn't seen anything like me since Clark Gable. And a year and a half later, I still didn't even have an agent. I had to go back to New York with my tail between my legs and go back to bouncing and ask friends to let me sleep on their couch.
When did you find in yourself that you wanted to become an actor? At what point was that?
I grew up in an artist housing in Manhattan. So I was exposed to actors and jazz musicians and painters and sculptors at a very early age. Miles Davis was recording in my basement.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was a real...
That's amazing.
So I always wanted to be a performer.
Now, 14 years into the Fast and Furious saga, he's a superstar. But with the death of his close friend and co-star Paul Walker, the making of Furious 7 was a struggle.
How has Paul influenced your life? Not just, I mean, you talked about how much he is a brother to you. He taught you about fatherhood.
He went into fatherhood a lot earlier than I did. That he took on that role of kind of being the guide into fatherhood for me. It's kind of beautiful. The one thing Paul always wanted me to do was be present at my child's birth. I mean, he was so adamant about it. When I did Fast and Furious 5 and we were on the bridge in Puerto Rico and we're doing the end scene and Paul Walker and I come out of that car, her water broke in New York and my son was being born. He was like, we can film later. No, this is not a deal. You have to go now. And he was right, and I did.
How has fatherhood changed you?
I don't know if it's because I have kids. I don't want to be a killer. I don't enjoy killer mode as much as I used to. And I can't do it as often.
It may be even less now. Earlier this week, Vin shared exclusively with us the name of his new baby girl.
While I was in the delivery room, I said that I felt like Paul was there. I named her Pauline.
Pauline, that's awesome.
Wow, it is so moving to see these interviews again. Now, fatherhood is such an important theme throughout the franchise, and I always enjoy sitting down with Vin. And recently we spoke about F9, the latest installment to the franchise. So stay tuned right after the break.
Two decades, 9 films, and $6 billion later, the Fast and Furious crew is back, and they haven't lost a step.
Well, that was new.
you were just, can I say, a baby back when this franchise started? We're talking like 20 years ago.
The 20-year anniversary is when this film is being released.
The Fast franchise has always entertained, but at its core, it's always been about family.
I think of the legacy of this franchise as well. I mean, besides the fast cars, the unstoppable action, what else is it about this franchise that has such an enduring legacy?
The question that I ask myself as I embark on the finale, Fast 10, and
it is the last, the 10th? Wow.
But I believe at the end of the day, people come to Fast because the characters, we want to know what happens next. We want to know how they evolve.
But going back to that legacy,
the
family that you built.
The family that we've built.
It's not just on-screen family. These people have been in your life throughout.
I mean, that's ultimately what the true blessing is. Work with people that you love.
And, of course, this film, you clearly bring up Paul and his legacy throughout the film as well. He's never gone.
Ever.
He's never forgotten in this franchise.
Ever. I never think I'm continuing the franchise in his absence. I always feel like I'm continuing the franchise in his honor.
And as each installment one-ups itself with action and star power, John Cena plays Toretto's estranged brother in Fast 9, the universal appeal of Fast only grows.
Will you be my ride or die? Because we've got our own little VIP tram to go see you on your ride.
Okay,
yes.
I mean, guys, you want to do that? Ride or die!
This one takes you to the jungles, it takes you to Tokyo, London, and outer space. I mean, it's crazy. Where else? I mean, where else could you go? Yeah.
Back in time.
Oh,
or
there
the
you
future.
go.
Back to the future.
For Fast 9, after a year's delay, the future is now. Already grossing nearly $300 million overseas ahead of its U.S. release.
It's so surreal to come full circle and to see something completed like that. I don't often reflect back enough on stuff that I've done. I always feel like I'm a minute away from having to produce the next film.
And for Vin, who is already 6 months into pre-production on Fast 10, the hope is this movie brings audiences back to the theater.
Is there pressure, though, thinking that this is the movie that is hopefully going to pack audiences and pack theaters once again?
Last year, I might have been frustrated. Now I feel like we're here just in time to salvage that theatrical experience.
Good luck and great success. Godspeed as always.
Mi padrino.
I love it. Thank you.
It's hard to believe these movies are still going strong after 2 decades. It has been a delight to sit down with Vin Diesel and the cast over all these years. And thank you for watching with us here on Today All Day. And I hope you enjoyed your Fast and Furious walk down memory lane. F9 is produced by Universal Pictures, which is part of our parent company, NBC Universal.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.